Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Kane, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about the art department. So, in JMW Art, our program is designed to support young artists developing their talent and imparting the foundation skills and then expressive uh, skills that they need to apply successfully to art colleges with competitive portfolio entry. That's what the program's designed for. So it's a 4-year spiral curriculum. In the first 2.5 years are assignments that are designed in a hierarchy to build on each other in terms of skills, experiences with different mediums and techniques. So the freshman year is basically divided into 3 units. The first unit is drawing, observational drawing, and you learn lots of techniques for um, depicting things that you see in the world um, in a convincing way, accurately, in a variety of mediums like charcoal and pencil and pen and ink. Um, and that's followed by a unit on design, which is taught through printmaking. And then that's followed by a unit on three-dimensional art, so sculpture using clay, and it's sort of split between the additive process of building clay forms and the subtractive process of um, carving down to form. And that's your foundation. Also, freshmen take art history. They'll take that for the first year and the second year, and we get pretty much through the timeline. But it's a good art history class to develop an appreciation for art across the timeline, understand how art from other cultures and other times, what it meant in context to the people that made it, and to learn how to read some of these really dense college art history books and how to write about art. Sophomore year is all about painting. So we start with color theory and move on to observational painting in acrylics and watercolors. So basically, you can think of the sophomore year as split in half, where the first half is all painting all the time, and the second half is about portraiture. So learning how to draw portraits from an observed subject, um, paint portraits, and sculpt portraits. So really learning about heads, the anatomy of the head, and how to depict uh, a portrait successfully. So it's not just the points on the face of the subject that you're depicting accurately, but actually expressing something about the personality of the sitter. Then in the first half of junior year, we get into more advanced skills. You'll learn linear perspective, how to paint the landscape, and figures, figure drawing, and a deeper dive into portraiture. And the capstone project of that whole unit is doing a multi-figure composition in an environment. So learning how to depict figures in space in an environment for some purpose. But these are all still very much skills-based projects, and they're starting to get into the abstract character of design and expression. And after this first semester as a junior, we switch gears into more idea-driven art. You will, at this point, have a toolbox of skills that you've accumulated over 2.5 years of instruction. And then the question becomes, what do you want to do with these skills? What are ideas that you would like to explore as an artist? and how can I support you in that exploration. So the second half of junior year is a series project where the students will choose a theme that matters to them, a concept, an idea, and do a series of work exploring that idea in depth. So that's sort of the beginning of idea-driven art. Um, we do other, it's a part of all the assignments that we do. Um, but most of the evaluation of those assignments is through the lens of acquiring a particular skill or experience. But at this point, we're starting to look through the lens of what are you trying to say or do with this work, and how successful is it accomplishing that, where you're pretty much determining the lens that we examine the work through. So what is your goal? And then that's how we try to, as a class, help each other make more powerful work to achieve the expressive goal that's been stated. Senior year is split into two units as well. And the first unit, that class is called Portfolio Public Art. And the first half is the portfolio half, which is all independent projects designed by the students and supported by myself and other art teachers that are sometimes hired specifically to support a student's interest that's, if it's outside of my wheelhouse. So sometimes I have students that are interested in fashion design or architecture, jewelry design or something, and that's outside of my areas of expertise. So I'll hire professionals from those fields to come in and sort of be consultants to help the student along on projects that require that. The idea of the first semester being about portfolio is because art school admission deadlines are usually around January and February. So this is a chance for seniors that want to go into art college to really build a strong portfolio with the support of myself and other art teachers that can help make the strongest application possible. The second semester, at this point, say February, art school applications are over, and we have this last semester together. And this is a time to sort of give back to the community and to learn a bit more about the career of a professional artist. So in this semester, I asked the students to identify a need in the community that could be met by design, and secure the permissions and make a proposal, pitch their idea for the design solution, and actually execute and do some kind of public art. So often this is a mural in one of the buildings of the school department. That's the most convenient thing to get permissions for. But students have done things in nursing homes around the state. They've sometimes gotten permission from some other network that they're in to design a mural or a big painting for a church, or if they're in a church community, for a park or something. So that there's a lot of opportunity there. It doesn't have to be a mural, but that's the most common project that's done, because it's we're right in the building. There's a lot of walls that could be painted, and that's kind of your legacy to JMW and the Pawtucket School Department. This mural. The other avenue that students go is to have a senior exhibit, where the students secure gallery space from somewhere in the state. Sometimes it's been the galleries in Pawtucket and Providence we found space. Sometimes we secure a mill space and convert it into a gallery space for the purpose of a senior exhibit. And the students create a body of work. They've got to make the work presentation ready if it needs to be framed or matted, or if it's a sculptural installation or something. And then they have to promote the work, get the word out, do all the organization for a real gallery opening. And then we have a gallery opening, and the public's invited to come see the work, and the students are there and can answer questions and mingle, and we have kind of a classic gallery opening kind of party. And that's pretty much how the curriculum goes. We're an approved Perkins program for career and technical instruction, which allows us to do some special things. I have a budget to hire professional artists, other professional artists with different skills, like I said, to support student interests. So if a student decides they want to do a project that goes off in an area that, is, again, outside of my wheelhouse, which is, my areas of expertise are really drawing, painting, and sculpture. And my professional career has been as a sculptor. So I'm very useful to students that have projects that are in those areas, but when they decide they want to do something, they want to be an architect. I have a lot of friends that are architects. I contact somebody, we hire them and pay them to come in and teach the students, give them the support they need to do the architecture project that they want to explore, or whatever the field is. So we have a lot of connections, and we have luckily a budget to pay artists to come in and do that. And the other nice thing about being a career technical program is we also have a healthy budget for supplies. So the students are getting to use very like professional grade brushes and good quality paints and canvases, and all that's being supplied for them by JMW. So a rude awakening when our graduates go off to our college is the vast amount of money they suddenly have to spend on art supplies for their material lists for the various studio classes. So our students don't have that expense, which is great. And I think that's the other thing is students keep sketchbooks. We provide sketchbooks for the students, and that's kind of an ongoing project through the 4 years at JMW. Art majors keep a sketchbook that's turned into me every 3 weeks or so. And I really get to know the students over the 4 years and their interests as they evolve and change. So they get a lot of personal attention and feedback from this program. I wish we were live and in person. Well, I mean, I guess we are going to have kind of a Zoom opportunity to have a video call for the open house. Normally, our open house obviously is actually at the building, and we could interact personally, which would be better. But it's a pandemic, so we're making compromises. So anyway, that's an overview. This program has been very successful. We have a lot of students that have gone on to RISD and Pratt and Mass Art and kind of all of the art schools. And it's been a great program for the many, many students that could walk that path but choose not to. So just so you know, the program is designed to support students that go on to art college with the ambition of becoming a professional artist. But the majority of JMW graduates love art, could walk that path, but then by the time they're a senior, maybe they've decided they want to be a nurse or a doctor or an engineer or something, a scientist, who knows what. So most of our students go on to liberal arts programs and maybe minor in art or keep art as sort of a passion as they pursue another kind of training in higher ed for a different career. And that's fine. But all those students that can do that could have done the art school route if they wanted, but have chosen not to. So the program is designed to support students that want to go the whole way, but a lot of our students decide to pursue other interests in college, and it works out really well because the creative problem solving that they learn in a program like this lends itself to all fields of endeavor. So our students go on from the art department and they major. We've got students that have gone on to be math majors or physics majors or whatever in colleges, because there's a lot of creativity in sciences. There's a lot of creativity in really any field. So again, creative problem solving that is cultivated in a fine arts education um, is an advantage to students in academics as well. All right, so if you have any questions that this little video in my bedroom doesn't answer, I look forward to seeing you on the video call for the open house, and I'll answer them then. All right.